What's going on, guys? Vancouver Gaming here, and welcome back to the video. Today, of course, we are doing another Sniper Thursday video, and I'm beginning to get tempted to change the series. Not because I'm not enjoying it, I'm really enjoying it, but I'm kind of thinking, okay, maybe I should end it now, or think about ending it now before I run out of serious ideas, and it just becomes sort of a weak show. Regardless, I have a lot of really cool ideas which I think you guys will love. A couple of series that I'll bring back, a couple of series that are completely new and I've never done before. And I'll keep thinking if I'm going to change it or not. For the moment though, it won't change, and you'll see an episode for the next couple of weeks. But regardless, today's video is about how to stay alive as a sniper, and in a way get kill streaks. It's more about how you can stay alive and be an asset to your team, in general in terms of tactics as well, because a lot of the time, I find snipers just sit at the back and they're not effective. They just sort of sit there doing absolutely nothing for the team, you know, taking random shots. They end the game like 1 in 7 or something, like 3 in 10 maybe. But they go, oh, but I got 2 nice shots the whole game, therefore I'm helpful. And although yes, definitely, if you're a really good player, you can definitely play that way, and you can definitely contribute to your team, but I'm talking right now about actually doing something for the team. And if you say, well, I want to play a game for fun, yeah, that's perfectly fine, but at the same time, you're not going to have much fun and longevity if you do the same thing every single game, as opposed to doing some of the stuff I would suggest, where the game's going to be different every single time you play it. So the first thing is that when it comes to gadgets, it really depends upon your playstyle. The playstyle I was just talking about right there, basically a sit still and support role. There are different degrees to this. There's a sort of mid-range one, a long range, and an extreme long range. I personally think the mid-range and the long range are the two most effective, and the super long range is just pointless, especially in Battlefield 1, where a lot of the sniper rifles have extremely low bullet velocity. It's going to take ages for them to travel, you're not going to hit many shots, and it just becomes way too hard unless you use like 2 of the rifles. So at that point then I'd say if you're going to play this role sort of, you know, just behind the infantry, hiding in rocks and stuff, you know, as they move up you move up as well, but you're not in the thick of it, you're not getting involved in objectives or anything like that, you're kind of supporting them from a distance and taking out enemies that are providing a problem for your team. So now, if you're staying in the exact same spot, or even if you're moving up rapidly, 2 things that I would suggest are, first of all, the decoy or the dummies that you can place down. Now these things look like a person, you know, they look like one of you. And if you shoot, or if the enemy shoots them, they can actually be marked on the map, which is actually pretty cool, and you can also see them with a red outline when you look down the scope. Now I think they're pretty cool, and in some way kind of pointless. I would like if there was a way you could tell when one's been shot, so you'd be able to, you know, go, oh shit, now I can look for where one is, rather than, oh, one got shot, I wonder when that was, I have no idea, it could have been 10 minutes ago. These things are really useless, and in some way they're kind of just fun to just stick up, sit back and see who is going to fall for it, because they do actually let off a glint like a sniper scope, so people would just shoot it anyway, and like I said, it is kind of funny to watch those, even if it's not very effective. The second one then, this is definitely if you're the kind of lie down in the same spot, sit in the same spot for the whole game, barely move. This thing is a sniper shield. Basically what it is a big piece of metal which sits in front of you and has a tiny little peephole for you to look through and maybe get a couple of shots down. You can still shoot through the peephole from the other side, which I've done a couple of times, and the main problem with this is obviously that you can't look too far to the left or the right. You can only look straight ahead and a little bit up. Now like I said, for the most part both of these are somewhat ineffective, but if you're the kind of sniper who's going to be sat at a massive distance and isn't going to move, these are definitely the ones you want to go for. If you are going to be held up in building though, sort of that medium long range distance, you definitely want to use the trip mines, and of course if you are acting in that medium range you want to use the flare to your best effect, because in some way the flare is pointless if you can't see it. If you're too far away, it's kind of pointless in that regard. Sure, it's helping your team, but then you're not helping yourself, which I think you should be doing more importantly. So obviously when you're doing this tactic you do want to stay back, you don't want to get involved, work from a distance, don't get super involved, and what I'd say in terms of staying alive directly as opposed to being effective is when you're staying alive you definitely want to try and avoid the enemies, and if you start to couple of shots then move position. If you feel like somebody has you locked down where you are, go somewhere else. Don't think, I can peek this guy and get him, because if he knows where you are and is at a long distance, there's no way you're going to find him, because you're going to look up, there's going to be a massive landscape and you're going to go, I have to cover all of this and find him while he is already looking at me. So preferably move position to a much better position where you might be hidden from a certain direction. If you have an idea where he's coming from, hide somewhere where that is blocked, or at least try and counter snipe. What I usually love doing, especially on the map Suez Canal, is I'll actually go up and I'll go on the outskirts outskirts of the map, sort of act as a distance sniper from the outskirts and actually hide behind different things, and enemies have no idea why, and you can actually do extremely well. And then when your teammates spawn on you, or squad mates spawn on you, they can push up, take the objective from this angle. So now, of course, the second tactic, my personal favourite, is aggressive recon. With this, you need to be closer to the action, not like one of the infantrymen. That's just obviously not going to be a huge thing for you. It'll be a massive disadvantage because you have bolt action, unless you're using the M1903 experimental, which is absolutely garbage. Now, the two gadgets I'd say are best for this one are the spotting flare. Obviously, if you use it and it's in your minimap radius, that's so good because you know exactly where enemies are. You can maybe peek up and take a couple of shots at them. And obviously the trench periscope, because I really like having it to look over walls, hills, stuff like that. And again, you can mark somebody and you can easily see where they're going and everywhere where they're going to be. And the final thing I'd say that's kind of helpful for the aggressive recon style is K-bullets, which are basically a super weak anti-tank and anti-elite bullet. I don't really think they're too effective, and honestly I kind of found myself just sat there shooting in a tank and I did 4 damage out of like 6 shots. It's entirely pointless, and unless the tank is super low health, you're never going to take it out, but it is there as an option. And of course, if you're going to be held up in a location, doing the trip mine again is a very good option, because you can place it down somewhere it's hard to see. If the enemy thinks, I've got this guy, he's in this building, they're going to charge in, instantly blow up that trip mine, and you're going to get a kill. Now the tactics basically for aggressive recon is only engage in fights where you think you can win. If you're in close range with a sniper rifle, you're going to lose, regardless of sniper rifle. You might get lucky and get a headshot, you might be good and actually get a close range headshot. If you're using a scope, that's extremely hard, but most of the time you will lose, because 1 bullet to you is like 4 for whatever gun he is using, of course, unless it's another bolt action. You can use a pistol, but again, the odds are not in your favour. So of course then you do want to be at the distance where you think you can win the gunfights, in that sort of medium to close medium range, or medium close range even, not at the distance where, you know, these guys are going to be really difficult to take out, they're going to be easier for them. You want to be easier for you to take them out. Now of course then, if you're going to do this tactic, again, working around the outskirts of the map, sort of sneaking around, looking at different angles. Don't go for the obvious angles. Don't go for the stand in front of the building, peek to the left, and look straight at the sniper, because he's obviously going to be expecting that. If there's a tiny bit where like the walls crumble and you can stand by the stairs and just look out, use that. But obviously, the more you practice, the more shots you take, the more shots you hit, the better you'll get. And in terms of what sniper rifle to use, it's honestly up to you. I pretty much like all of them. Russian 85 is probably my favourite one, and the Martini Henry, the single shot sniper rifle, was obviously extremely fun, and if you can use it, that thing is extremely good as well. So I hope you guys did this video. I have a super special video coming out after this one on the Saturday, something I'm really excited about, and it's a little bit late, but I really want to get it out because I'm really looking forward to doing it. But again, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Don't like to subscribe. Mike Up Gaming, out.